Welcome everyone to Lights of Miiva, episode 77. My name is Sam Landerell. I'm your GM and I have some players.
My name is Zerger, playing Lumi, the Circle of Stars Druid.
Hi, I'm Suda playing Riisha, the roguelock that has about half a brain right now.
Hi, I'm Sadie playing Zari, the charismatic barbarian.
I'm Ashes and I play Iberkeet, the wizard cleric.
And that's everybody for today because people who weren't able to make it. Everything that's backwards. That's okay. So look, it's gonna be a little scuffed today. Recap. Party followed Wenzel and met with Magda, where you told your tale of woe, or whatever you want to call it, and convinced her that you were, in fact, on a noble quest. And yeah, she offered you some things and gave Lumi an extra special gift because he let her know where her husband's hoard might be. And you guys met outside afterward, or met back up with Wenzel after the meeting, and I think it's evening at this point. And he's leading you generally back in the direction of the battle bar.
So, next point of order, try to figure out more about where this Horgold character could be.
Yeah, if you guys don't mind being on your own for a day or two, I can start looking into that for you. Now that you've gotten a grand tour of the city, you've seen most parts of it, honestly.
Magda said she would let us know if Horgold returns to the city, so I'm assuming he's out of the city currently.
Might be able to get you a lead on where he actually is, what city he might be in.
That's a good idea. Iberkeet, you wanted to return to the temple library, correct? Do some more research.
What more research did we need to do? I'm asking as a player.
That was
I'm
probably
sure.
Lumi wanting to go because he did not find the herb section of the library. So Lumi will pipe up and say, "Oh no, that wasn't Ibrigit, that was me. But my work can wait. It's just idle curiosity of libraries, maybe knowing about more about some herbs than I already do."
Magda wants to see you tomorrow. So, pointing at Lumi. I want to check out the docks and see if we can't get see if there might not be possibly a lead on our wayward. Does she technically count as a princess? First daughter?
You have a wayward princess? Did you tell me about her? I don't remember.
It may have glanced over it. The city of Ava, their head administrator, his daughter is wrapped up in all this with the Fae and the finding the god and the stuff. And last we saw her was in an adventure, in a small adventuring party in Volley, and I'm assuming they're going somewhere that is not the Fae and Badlands. So was going to ask some of the captains that have possibly been to Volley recently if a plucky young group of adventurers had asked them to take them somewhere.
I mean,
I don't know. It's a long shot.
the docks would be the place to ask, although you might have more luck talking to the dock master to see who's booked voyage if they may have come actually through here. So,
Yep. Dock master, but I'm assuming wherever they were going, they would pick a direct sailing, a direct sail, and be like, but they might have asked the captain like, "Hey, can you take us here?" No,
Right.
can't take you there. I'm going in the opposite direction, and one of them might have,
somebody might know.
yeah. So that's what I want to do.
Sounds good, but out of character question, is Magda wanting to see me just for her to give me my present, which I already got, or did I forget something else?
I mean, in character, you don't know why she wants to see you. Out of character, she's giving you something. So, that's the I guess the economy.
She just said for Lumi to come back tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay. Then I misheard or misunderstood some words last session.
I probably wasn't clear when I told you the play what the difference between telling you the player and telling you the Lumi.
But docs, back in character, docs then, because we have to go that way for our inn anyway.
Oh, that's a pretty good ways through the city, unless we want to go out and around. Because, the city isn't all inside the walls, correct?
Yes, correct. So, outside of the actual walls, call it shanty towns is not exactly the truth. Between this gate, sorry, the map is big. Between this gate and this gate, there are large numbers of buildings, low housing, like shantytowns.
Warehousing.
Warehousing less probably, but definitely a lot of people live there who probably work the docks or work in the city but can't afford to live in the city. Near here, yes, warehousing, and then all along the southern, southwest, eastern, and then basically up towards the east, all the way up to here, basically between the river and that gate that I just marked out, all the way to the sea docks over here is just warehousing. People probably live in upper stories and similar things, but you have a few, food establishment, bars, but you don't have apartment buildings. It's mostly goods, storage, transfer sort of thing. Towards this side of the city, it's much more farmlandy. So west side of the city, between the western gate and the sea gate, is shantytown / housing for people who work in the city but don't live in the city. Sea gate to eastern gate, I think I actually had names for all these gates at some point, but I don't have them written down. Seagate to Eastern Gate, warehousing dense, tall, big buildings full of goods and probably some people. And then the remainder of the outside of the town is plains, farms, that sort of thing. Pretty much everywhere inside of the walls is dense urban.
So let's see. What time is it now? It's mid-afternoon, right?
Mid-afternoon to evening, I would say at this point.
Okay. So let's see. So yeah, head down to the battle bar, get a night's rest, check out the docks in the morning. Lumi can go see Magda, and then we can figure out what to do from there.
All right. So it's a multiple hour walk back to the battle bar from where you guys are. The smells of the city have started to you're starting to become nose blind to them. For those of you who have watched or listened to or participated in previous campaigns, the sewer smell of the city is much less than it was 20 years ago because it's no longer open trench sewers running along the streets. They're now actually dug sewers below the city's street level. So it's mostly cooking food, probably a fair amount of rotting food, but not feces as much. But yeah, it's pretty evening by the time you get back to the battle bar. Wenzel kind of, gives you the as you guys arrive there, gives you the high sign, says just let somebody know in the bar if you guys want to see me. I'm gonna start looking into seeing if I can get some leads on Horgold tomorrow. I think you can make it around town without me.
Just a quick question. What's the magic protection over this area? Is there any kind of magic suppression in the air over the city?
Individual people might have, or businesses might have, but there's no like citywide anti-magic protection that I'm aware of.
Then we should be fine. At least getting back to known areas of the town, because I am a druid. I change shapes, as you saw when I showed you what a Wuji was.
Right. Sure. Yep. That completely tracks. You can make like a bird and fly. Right? That's what you're implying. Okay. That's what I thought you meant, but not having run into very many druids in my life, being a city boy and all. But yeah, have a good night. And he just kind of walks off down the street, turns a corner, and is gone.
So, tea. And Lumi will head inside the battle bar.
Right. You guys head in, get your supper and tea. The place is moving pretty normally. Like, it's not super busy, but it's not super dead either. Barring something else happening tonight, we're gonna go on into tomorrow. Again, Lumi, Riisha, some of the best tea you guys have ever had. That isn't like local herbal tea that Zari or Lumi has gathered up and made. All right. Next day is the 20th of Peridot. Guys wake up. Breakfast is last night's leftovers reheated into like a hash. So potatoes, roast meats, some vegetables, fried into patties and served with, well, for those of you who drink tea, and those of you who drink normal stuff, probably a small beer, or basically a very, very, very thin beer, very low alcoholic beer. That's what we've got to go with. There's not a huge crowd of breakfast eaters in this place. Looks like probably only maybe half of the rooms were occupied, and so ordering breakfast, you guys are given generous servings. Lucy is, of course, loving it because she gets to eat as much as she wants, and the bartender has, or the serving people at this point have gotten her own bucket to wash her hands and face in before eating her food. And after eating breakfast, you guys head out. Without having the reassuring presence of Wenzel, I'm gonna need a intelligence roll from somebody to not get lost. Who's acting as a Ibrahit? Ibrahit acting as a pathfinder. 13's good enough. You can make your way back to a main road.
That's a 14 because the Stone of Good Luck isn't applying to straight ability checks.
Got it. So 14. It takes you get turned around just a little bit. You can't see the sky as well as you're used to. Not that should be important, but it feels just a little strange. And get turned around a little bit, but you're able to make it to the docks within an hour-ish of walking. Biggest thing was finding your way back to a main road and then traveling along it. Zari, there are, on the sea docks, there are probably 10 vessels that are larger than any ship you have ever seen in your life, stacked 3 levels high, and, like 3-4 across at the base, along here. These are bigger than any of the ships you ever saw in Volley is not the right name of the city. No, Volley is the right name of the city. Bigger than any of the ships you ever saw at Volley. And obviously, 2/3 of them, at least, are flying vessels.
Okay, so I guess we start with the dockmaster first.
All right. Give me... Yeah, I won't make you roll for it. You ask around a little bit and are eventually directed to a fairly robust stone building that is separated out from the like buildings around it. So most of the buildings here are warehousing, like wooden. This place is gotta be rich because every building here is made out of wood, even like the decrepit falling down ones, right? You guys haven't seen this much wood in your life. Or wood is much more common here. but there is a fitted stone building that you guys are pointed to that's probably 2 stories high by maybe 50 by 50 foot square, slate roofed. It's not really fortified in the way like a wall, like a city wall is fortified, but it's definitely got heavy wooden shutters open that are all open, glass pane windows, front heavy like bronze clad wooden door, wood that probably none of you recognize. Doors sitting open, and as you walk inside of it, there is a just like bustle of activity as people from the docks come up to talk to or come up to a table, come up to a set of desks. Desks have like receptionists or similar behind them, and it's just a kind of a come and go, dropping off paperwork, checking their ships into port, signing a thing, paying some sort of like probably their docking fees, and signing their ships out of port, that sort of thing. Hustle and bustle of humanity. This room is not terribly large, and so it's got a lot of motion in it. And as you make your way to your desk, very polite, half troll. Well, okay, very polite, 8.5 foot tall, bright green man. Just this person, Zari, has has like arms as big as your torso. A relatively ugly face. Half troll is what you think because you have met. I'm going to forget all of my NPC names. Edvard before. So there's some level of resemblance in skin tone and like body structure, but this person, like he's built like somebody who spends all of their time pumping weights. Only he's, 8.5 feet tall. And he looks down in a surprisingly small voice and says, yes, what can I help you with today?
So as I'm walking up to him, I obviously pop in one of the tongues candies.
Right.
To make this easier. Hi, yes. We are looking for some friends of ours that may have arrived here sometime in the last week and may have booked passage somewhere else. And I give them a description of, the party. If you don't recognize them, then could you possibly direct me to any captains that have recently come from Volley?
He's like, sure. We can help you find. Nothing like that is raising any like memory of mine, but there's probably some captains who have been through here from Volley. And give me an insight check, please, Zari.
Let's see. Yeah.
14. This person is not so subtly angling for some level of payment. That they're asking for a bribe.
Yeah. Let's see. What would be a good bribe? Like,
With a 14, you don't know how much this person's asking for.
like half a gold, maybe, or what? Half a brass.
Are you gonna start? So you're gonna start with 5 bronze.
Yeah.
So you gather this, put 5 bronze across this person's palm. They make it vanish into like underneath their desk and go, yeah, there's 3 vessels in town who regularly trade back and forth to the east side of the continent. They're on the river docks, and Suda, could I have you give me the name of a brig sailing vessel?
Yes, one second. I have one. Dang it. I had a good one for Sea of Thieves, and I've lost it.
Oh no!
Brigantine. Let's call it... I'm drawing a complete blank.
I mean,
I've been looking at ship names all freaking day, and now I'm drawing a blank.
That's terrible. I mean, we could call it the drawing a blank.
I like that.
Okay,
Yes.
so the brig, drawing a blank. Captained by half elf. I will give them a name in a second. Do as soon as I find my right tab to do this. Thank you. Do that one. Haha. Go with ambiguous. Times 5. Generate. EC Lucerio. All right. So, it's a brig. The brig EC Lucerio. I'm going to keep picking on people. Ashes. Give me the name of a sloop.
Salty Lady.
The Salty Lady. She is captained by a orc. So that would be... We're going to go with Portuguese. Andrea Isis. So Andreiaisis. I should actually... And Zerter, give me the name of a galleon.
The Wrung Otter.
Wrung Otter. WRUNG or RUNG?
Wrung as in to have wrung out a rag for water.
Okay, the Wrung Otter. It is captained by a human. We're going to go with... Come on, German. I can. Haha. Alphabetize. Levi Sylvan. Levi is a local. So. No. He, him. Alright, so that is the list of captains. They are all docked at the river, on the river docks. The galleon is actually docked, not actually at the docks, but out in the river proper. The other two are pulled up to the docks currently. A pleasure helping you out. I'm glad that I could give you. I'm glad that I had the information you were looking for. And he turns and starts working with the next person. The next person to come up, Leopard, like kind of comes over to him out of the crowd, not realizing that he's staring at this person's probably like pectoralis muscles, and then kind of blanches as they continue to look up and up to meet this smiling faced half troll who's, you know, just here to help. The person who came up after you was a very small elf. So like, yeah.
So even shorter than Luby.
Even shorter than Lumi. And like small of frame. All right.
So, what did we learn, Zari? This happened in some language I did not understand.
We got 3 ships that have recently come from Volley. The Drawing a Blank, the Salty Lady, and the Rung Otter. So, asking any of those captains if they've seen our wayward adventuring crew.
You can cast that as a ritual, correct, Iberkeet?
Yes.
Okay.
And it lasts for a good long time. I think it's an hour.
Okay. So that you have no trouble, like even as you guys are walking around, you have no trouble keeping that active. Like, you know when it's gonna run out and keeping it up. So.
Yeah, it lasts an hour, so when it takes me 10 minutes to do it as a ritual,
Right.
And it doesn't have any consumed components, so I can just do it.
All right.
Then shall we go to the docks and find these 3 ships to ask their captains?
Yep. I think that's the next plan.
All right. All right. You guys head to the river docks. These are less active than the sea docks. The ships here vary in size. So the sea docks, gigantic seagoing vessels, right? These are the sea docks have 3 to 4 masted. From perspective of people who know, like, these would be big, like treasure galleon or ship of the line sized ships. If we're talking like Age of Sail, right? Going along to the river docks, there's just a giant mix of stuff out here. Way more ships, but way less active as in, like, you know, freight unloading, loading, that sort of thing. Ships from just a small single masted ketch all up to like galleon, like the there's only one galleon that you guys see there. I'm gonna say you're intelligent people, but you're not ocean people. So there's one 3-masted vessel out here, anchored out in the actual river itself. But there's 20 or 30 two and one masted vessels. About 10 of them are pulled up to the docks, and the rest of them are anchored out. And asking around a little bit, probably having to pay somebody a copper or two, you get pointed out which ships are which. So the Drawing a Blank and the Salty Lady are docked to the ocean side, the last slip, both of them on the same dock. The brig Drawing a Blank is docked out towards the river, like the furthest out on the dock slip, and then just inside of the Drawing a Blank is the Salty Lady. Salty Lady as a sloop is a much smaller vessel, so it's a single-masted, triangular sailed. Copy image. So that's what a sloop is. Modern person might call it a yacht. It's probably 40 or 50 feet long. Very, you wouldn't want to be on the ocean in a vessel any smaller than this. The Drawn a Blank is a two-masted brig. See if I can find a good picture for y'all. That's not a terrible one. Probably 80-ish foot long. Of course, their sails are not out, but gives you an idea. Probably 80 foot long, much wider of beam and pretty obviously deeper of keel than the Salty Lady. And the only three-master out here is the galleon, which is the Rung Otter, of course. Galeon. Okay. Images. That's a decent picture, actually. Copy image. That is a galleon. So galleon, for the audience, a galleon is the classic Pirates of the Caribbean, three-masted. I think the Pearl might be a galleon. I'm not actually 100% sure. No, I don't
Pearl,
think so.
no, that's way too small. Galleons are like heavy cargo ships. And very slow.
Okay, so picking up a picture of a Black Pearl is actually fairly close to what I imagine as a Spanish galleon. So,
Flying Dutchman is apparently a galleon.
yep.
Or Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay, my sources is basically I've played a lot of Sid Meier's Pirates, so that might not be entirely accurate.
Fair enough. So in Sid Meier's Pirates, 100% true. The Black Pearl is a ship of legend, so obviously much faster than her contemporaries. It's when people think of a pirate ship, they often think of galleons because it's got the aft quarterdeck castle.
The Black Pearl is a corvette, right in between a brig and a galleon.
Ah, there you go. All right, what you guys heading for?
Lumi will gravitate towards the smaller ones, the smallest, if no one is yanking him onwards to bigger or better ships. Smaller just because more his size.
Sure. So the salty lady is absolutely both the closest and the smallest. They are tied up to the dock. They have a gangplank, I think is the correct term, between the dock and the ship that is connected. It looks like somebody's up in the sails doing something with the sails. None of y'all are sailors, so you don't know what they're doing. There are probably 2 or 3 crew members on deck. Looks like coiling cables or uncoiling cables, or one of them's coiling a cable and the other one's uncoiling a different. You know, they're doing ship things on this ship. You don't see any gun ports or deck guns in evidence. And as you approach the gangplank, you're definitely getting watched by all 3 crew members, the one up in the sails and the 2 on the deck.
Hi?
I'm assuming speaking in Feyan?
Feyan.
Okay. One of the person in the up in the sails yells down in half Elven, which only, or in Elven, sorry, which probably only Ibrahkeed at this point would recognize because comprehend language is up. Captain, got some locals for you. And half Elven woman, looking every bit the pirate, drunk, probably like not all well put together, carrying like a tricorn hat, just disheveled looking, got like that bedhead hair going on, kind of after a few moments stumbled out on deck and goes, people, what? Kurt, what? Locals in Elven. And the response back is, yeah. Well, not local to here, but definitely some locals. She looks at you all standing on the pier in front of the gangplank, like rubs her face and goes, "Oh, it's too early in the morning."
Lumi does the cute puppy head cock. kind of like what? Language sounds familiar, but what? Feyan? And he will cycle through Feyan, Sylvan, and Celestial, just looking for common language.
And she starts speaking. Oh, that's what he meant by locals. You're speaking Feyan. Oh. What do you want?
We just have a few questions. We're looking for some friends and wanted to know if you saw them last time you were in Volley.
Come back with some rum and I'll tell you. And she turns green. She looks at like y'all, and then just like dives for the companionway and disappears below decks.
You know, something that would probably help with that would probably be some food and not more alcohol, but okay.
The person on the deck's like, you know, you're right, but hair of the dog and all that. And he's speaking Feyan to you. she's serious though. If you bring her alcohol, she'll tell you whatever you want to know if she knows it.
So,
Okay.
next ship or go get rum.
Well, we'll say okay. We'll be back then. Thanks for the information, and we'll go check out the next ship first.
And as you guys are walking away, he's like, "Don't bother with the good stuff. The volume's important, though." All right.
Oh boy.
The next ship along the line, being the brig, the Drawn a Blank. All right, this ship looks like it just got here. There are people walking crates off of this ship down onto the dock. There is a did I okay. Orc I should put that in there. Brig Drawn a Blank. Oopsie, this is half elf. Half health. This is orc. And then this one is human. All right, so standing on the dock, like obviously working on a checklist. There are a pair of orc men. They look to be brothers. You would say twins, but one of them has a pretty significant like patchy, like one of them has a beard that appears to be, from the patchiness of it, hiding a series of scars along the lower half of his face. The other one, but otherwise these two could be at least brothers. One of them's yelling in orc up to the deck every once in a while. Again, I don't think any of you speak orc other than Iberkeet understanding it, yelling like he's yelling, "No, don't bring up the pelts yet. Bring up the pelts last. Put them off to the side. Bring up the metalwork first." Yes, I know it's heavy. That's why I said do it first. Look, if you tire yourself out on the light stuff, then the heavy stuff you'll just do it. Meanwhile, the other one's like taking notes of which crates are coming off. And there is a tall elven woman standing next to them, kind of like watch. So one of them is organizing, obviously. One of them is taking notes, and one of them is like, yes, the elven woman is not, you're not sure, standing guard, or she's watching like everything else.
Okay, so Zari goes up and is like, "Hello, can I have a moment of your time?"
In Fan? You're
Yes.
okay. The elven woman turns to you and says, "Fan? Wasn't expecting to see you're here. You're wasn't expecting to see your kind here. Give us a bit. We're kind of busy," as you hear a crash from below deck, and the person who's been organizing like looks at his brother and yells something, some sort of invective in Orcish, and goes running up the gangplank onto the deck, and starts like the best sort of like every third word is fuck sort of invective. As they're like trying to sort out whatever went wrong below deck. And the elven woman kind of rolls her eyes at you and goes, "It'll be a minute. Got come back in an hour, and I think we'll have this taken care of."
Okay, well, we have just some rum to go find then.
Oh, you going to? Okay, well, good luck. Good luck finding your rum. And the orc who's noting stuff down kind of grumbles something at her in orc, and she goes, "Well, if you don't want to wander off too far, might have some here if you really want some rum."
Well, I mean, we can pay. Um, we're just looking for some friends of ours that may have been seeking passage from Volley recently.
The orc, the orc, kind of gives you a curious look. He goes, It's gonna be. We can talk with him now." As there is another crash on deck, and there is another length of invective, and a just roar, and somebody gets bodily lifted and tossed elsewhere on the deck. And he's like, "Okay, well, I'm assuming you're talking about somebody from Volley. Hi, I am. Oh shoot, names, not enough names. That was the wrong. I think I used that. Yes, I used Portuguese. Generate a name. Haha. I am Luis Lucerio. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. First officer of the Drawn a Blank. He offers his hand.
I take his hand. Hi, I'm sorry.
Well met. Just ignore my sibling. They're having more fun than they think they are.
So,
right.
yeah.
I should introduce you to sorry. I'm generating too many names. Also, I don't remember what name I generated for that. Louise. Luiz. All right. I'm going to have to keep these track of later, just in case. Sorry. I said today was going to be scuffed. Nope, that's the wrong gender. That's the right gender. Haha. My purser, Daphne Justinia. And, sorry, now my brain is forgot the thread of the conversation.
Well, I was just going to ask. Yes, we're looking for some friends of ours that were in Volley and may have been looking to book passage somewhere.
I mean, we do take passengers from time to time. Do you have description? Who were these people? Like, I don't know how much.
Yeah, it was a group of 5, I think. Fairly young adventurers. Probably, and I give them a description of, just general description of each of them, and yeah, we're just looking for them.
The Louise looks at Daphne. Daphne goes, I might remember a passenger set. About how long ago was this?
Maybe a week or two. Very recently. I'm not sure how long it takes you all to get from Volley to here, but
it's a good 4 week journey around the southern coast. We have a sail vessel, not a flying vessel, so
yeah.
it's a bit further. In character, I think it's been more than a week since you guys last left. We'll just say Zari gives the correct, an appropriate amount of time.
Yeah.
It's been more than a week. We'll figure out the chronology at some point in the future.
Yeah. I give them whatever time we last saw Tiasa.
Because there might have been a group like that. They weren't coming here though. And they weren't interested in transferring. So we gave them. Sorry, go ahead.
Did they say where they were going or where they wanted to go?
No, they didn't really give me that information. Just that they weren't like we sail mostly from Orkland to Kirsch and back. Although we do occasionally sail off all the way to Volley or down to Ook, depending on what we have found for cargoes. We were in Volley not terribly about the right time, and I think we may have run into them. I'm not 100% sure, but they were sailing. They weren't sailing to any of our regular places, and they weren't willing to pay. They didn't want to transfer, and they weren't willing to pay to make a fully hired, at least not on the ship this size.
Yeah.
So they didn't really give us much more than that, but sorry about that. They do sound vaguely familiar. Something a little strange about them. Not 100% sure. And Daphne goes, I can get you some rum though. We haven't taken on our stores yet, but we do have them on the docks.
Yeah, we're well, don't know if you know them, but the salty lady over there, we were going to their captain's local to Volley, and we were going to ask them the same thing. And well, I think they could use some nice bread, but they said they want more rum.
Yeah, no,
So-
we're familiar with the salty lady. Just there's a certain type of person who needs enough drink to get them back up to stable, and Andrea is one of those people. She just has a really hard time in the mornings.
And yet she's a captain of a ship.
When you own the ship, then you get to call yourself captain.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah. So we'll get you. We'll get I don't know, 3 bottles of your rum, maybe 4.
Daphne goes over to one of the boxes, and opens the lid nailed down yet. You see in it probably 2-liter bottles that are packed in straw. And she goes, okay. These are, so 2 liters of alcohol. It's cheap. Probably a bronze a bottle. That's what she sells them for you too.
Okay. So I give them 4 bronze for the bottle and 2 bronze for, the information about our adventuring, about our friends we're looking for.
Sure. She thanks you, and she pretty obviously has a bag of holding that she deposits the coins in.
Oh, we also heard that the Rung Otter was recently involved, and we were going to talk to the captain. How do we get out to them?
A couple copper will get you a ride on a. There are row cutters that row back and forth, and she points out a couple of them. Couple copper will usually get you hired out to any of the ships.
Okay. Thank you much.
She nods, and about this time, Issy comes back and bellows at their brother, or bellows at Daphne. What are you selling them rum for in Orc? And Daphne responds, "Look, it's a good price, and I can replace it. We just got here." "Yeah, but we're not here to sell rum." They come tromping back down the gangplank. And yeah, returning back to the Salty Lady, clinking with bottles of rum. The 2 people who were on deck are mostly just lounging now, and Andrea is up on deck, staring out up on the quarterdeck, or there's not really quarterdeck on a. Well, I guess there kind of is. Standing on the quarterdeck, this kind of staring out away from the docks, and as you guys approach again, the person who's up in the sails goes, "Hey, Captain, they're back!" And as you turn to the gangplank, he's like, "They're front too!" All right.
Captain, we brought what you asked for. We were hoping for a minute of your time.
She sets her hat on her head, just completely disheveled still. Kind of turns around, looks at you, and goes, "Welcome aboard. Come on aboard. Come on. Just welcome aboard."
Zari whispers to Lumi, "If we are going to need a ship to go anywhere, we are hiring her." She seems fun.
Oddly enough, I agree. Size is more appropriate for us.
So she leads you down below into the companionway. The ceiling in the companionway is all of 5 feet tall, and she ducks nimbly as she's going in down, and she just looks natural, crouching her way down to the after cabin. So there is a cabin at the back of this ship. She leads you. The door leading into the after cabins, like, it's about as wide as a normal door, but it's only about 4.5 feet tall. And she nimbly ducks under it and gets into a chair behind a desk, and there's various other chairs around.
I'm gonna say Lumi will do a classic getting distracted by something on the way in, forgetting the height, and walking full force into one of the beams.
Yeah, it's just, you guys hear a thunk as Lumi just beans himself on a beam. Zari, you're like hunched over real low.
Yep.
And you hear, as the thunk happens, Lumi, you hear from the cabin an amused voice go, "Yeah, watch your head."
Ow! Yes.
That sounds like you left some hair. She's speaking.
And he does
fluent
it
Fan.
again, just as he says, yes, go
Thunk. So she is speaking fluent Feyan. It's, if anything, better than Wenzel's Feyan. You guys make it into her cabin. It's not a big room. The desk that she's sitting behind is small but fairly well made. On it is sitting a plate of bacon and fry bread that looks mostly untouched. Riisha, you're under 5 feet tall.
5 foot exactly.
5 foot exactly. So as you're walking through this, your head is just brushing the beam height. Like your hair is being parted, but you're otherwise fine, right? She waits. She watches you guys move in. There's a couple of low stools and a chair, and she looks at Zari and goes, "You might want to sit on the floor. I mean, I don't want to be rude." And she
Nope. I get it. Yep.
she has that, like, okay, the headache's okay, the headache's gone again. All right. She digs into her desk, takes out something from her desk, a sachet of something, pours it into a like mug, and then holds out the mug to you, Zari. Or she holds out the mug to you guys in general.
Does she want us to pour the rum in the
I mean,
in the mug?
that seems to be the implication, but you may feel free to roll an insight if you're not sure.
I do that.
Okay.
It's pretty clear.
Yeah.
I was just making sure that
So
Sadie's brain was.
Yep. No. So you pour. Okay, this mug is deeper than you thought it was. Probably a good 15 or 20 ounces of rum go into the mug before she like pulls it back from you. It's frothing, or somehow it's a little effervescent now. It definitely was not coming out of the bottle. And she sips it, takes a deep breath. And just blinks, and her eyes are almost clear. She's still dressed disheveled. Hair is a mess. She takes off her tricorn hat, sets it, like, nimbly sets it on a peg that's off on the back window to her right. The gallery window to her right. And she looks at you, and her eyes are like clear, not drunk, like clear, right? She goes, so how can I help you?
Yes. we heard that you were in Volley recently, and we have some friends of ours that we think may have been trying to book passage somewhere, and we were just seeing if we could find out if you had seen them, and like maybe find out where they trying to find out where they might be headed,
Oh, sure.
and I give them a description of of the group.
She leans back in her chair. It's obvious that this is like the room behind her desk is just enough room that she can tip her chair back, and it sits against the back wall. She tips. She's got her mug in her hand. She like has a very thoughtful expression on her face. Takes another sip of her rum, and goes, "It sounds a little familiar." She gets a little more thoughtful. It goes, yeah, they're kobold, right? The one of them was a kobold.
Yeah.
Yeah, kobold. Had a kobold looking for passage for a group of 6, going out to the west somewhere. And we were like two more negotiation rounds away. Like mostly I carry people cargo, right? This is a ship that mostly carries people cargo. I have the best passenger rooms in the entire ocean, she says completely sarcastically. She's like, we were one or two more discussions maybe away from them hiring me on, and then they just stopped showing up. Kashi, right? Kashi was their name? Her name? Yeah. So I don't know if they found another passage or what, but wherever they're going, it's like they were. So the reason negotiations were not going exactly fast is because they learned like it's direct sale there, and that would have been like they given some of the like hints I was getting, probably 3 or 4 month sale. Which is fine, right? But usually I set in every port or two along the way, and they wanted to go there directly. And I can carry that many stores, but if I do carry that many stores, then it's mostly salt pork and beef and peas, and very not nearly enough rum.
Well, yes, you can't go without the rum, obviously.
I mean, obviously. And I can only carry so much rum with me. I mean, there's I got to make grog for the crew, and I've got to make grog for myself and grog for my passengers.
What exists that is that far of a sail west from Volley?
Give me your cartography roll, please.
Intelligence based to try and deduce.
Yes. That is not a very good roll.
But it was also, as he was thinking, a question out loud.
Oh. Well, I mean, she has emptied about half of her cup, and she kind of motions to Zari again as she leans forward in her chair, holds out the mug.
Zari obliges.
Tipping back with a full mug once more, she goes, the Western Continent's over there. She didn't give me an exact location, but, that was enough supplies to get me all the way out there. There's only a couple places there to go, right? Let's go ahead and pop onto the world map. Players to this world map, please. So, from what she describes, there are a couple of towns at best on the northern side of the Great Western Continent. Pretty much the whole thing is just empty, trackless, empty, and basically she doesn't know of any safe harbors to land at other than there. That said, it's possible they wanted to be left off somewhere else in the continent. But, you know, if I had to guess, that's probably where they were going.
If that is where they were going, I don't think we have time to hire a ship to intercept them. How do we cut the travel time down?
You can hire an airship. That would take less time to travel. Be a lot more expensive though. So it's a good, yeah, I would say by ocean, it's a good depending on the winds, it's probably 6 weeks from Ava to Kirsch, assuming you don't stop at too many places along the way. It's another, probably from Kirsch, it's probably another 6 to 8 weeks all the way out to the towns on the Western Continent. Going there directly probably saves you 2 to 3 weeks. Because airships are not beholden to the wind, that time is less. Because you just pick a direction and fly in it, right? They don't move faster than sail ships, but they don't have to fight the wind in the same way. I mean, I can I can take you out there. You won't beat your friends there, but you could be out there after them get back on their trail.
Yeah, I think we could probably do that. We'd need like a day or two to get supplies because, you know, if they're already on their way, then, you know, like you said, we can't catch them, but we can be there. So
I'm mostly stocked, but, you know, if we're going to sail all the way out there, I'd want enough to stock to get out there and back just in case, you know, contingencies. And she goes, "Hey, Bert," in Elven. And the man who was on deck coiling the rope. This is a human man. Pokes his head in after a few minutes and she goes, "How soon can we leave if we need to go?" Bert thinks for a moment and goes, 3 days? Lay in some supplies? How far are we going? She goes, "Western Continent." And he's like, "Ooh, no, better give me 4. I'm gonna have to redo some stuff."
quartermaster.
She's like, she nods and goes, switching back to Faye and goes, "Yeah, I could be ready to go in 4 days if you really want to."
Okay.
How much and do you have tea?
I can lay in tea. Do you want to trade tea to the Western Continent?
He's a very good. He's a very enthusiastic tea drinker. He drinks as much tea as you drink rum.
She goes, "I have trouble believing that," holding out the empty cup to you. This woman
I'm
is
sorry. When have I drunk that much tea?
so this
Okay, but you really like your tea. You don't even eat my food anymore. Okay, I'm kind of disappointed. Like I go through all that effort, and you just drink tea every meal.
she's got a grin on her face. So this woman is 5'5", half elven, fairly small frame. She has drunk no less than half of one of your 2-liter bottles of rum already. And she is dead ass sober. This conversation has been going on for long enough that Zari, you think you would be pretty drunk.
Oh, probably.
Like, that much rum that fast, you would probably be at that, like, I miss Amari so much stage of drunk. Not quite, not like falling over, but, you know, that the emotional. So she's holding her mug out to you to get another third of a bottle.
Yes, but how much is the big one?
All right. Sam is going to do a little meta math. So it is 2 months, call it 8 weeks travel out there. 8 weeks travel back. She's not guaranteed a return trip cargo, so she's going to make you pay for both directions. You are supercargo essentially, so you're not carrying a bunch of cargo, which helps. But you're hiring the whole vessel for 2 months. It's probably on the order of food plus 2 brass per day of travel time. So it would be 2 times 7 times 8 weeks. Wait, I said 8 weeks out and 8 weeks back, so times 16. 224 brass plus enough food and water and supplies to keep you. I'm gonna say she's gonna say 300 brass for the trip out and back, as long as you don't spend a lot of time there. She's willing to wait for you for a return trip because, again, she's like, I don't think there's gonna be a lot of extra cargo there, but I have more runs to make, so you can either pay me to stay in port or you can get a ride back when I come back, or I can sail without you. Like, this is round trip prices, but I can't guarantee that I'll stay there if you're gonna stay there too long.
That's fine. I think we can find our way back if we need to.
She nods. And yeah, I think 4 days we can go. I don't have any current passengers is not the is the right term.
Obligations?
Yeah. In current obligations, so give me half up front and I will stay in town until you either come to tell me you're not coming, or 2 weeks and then I'll leave the money with the dockmaster. The excess up beyond my beyond my needs with the dockmaster for you to pick up. So she leans forward, sets the empty mug on her thing, and is like, welcome to the salty lady in 4 days time.
Yep. And I guess we can pay her in the gemstones.
Zerd is already looking at which stone we which stones we could use. Opals he will object to.
I don't know why you would object to that.
But there are at least 4 stones that are 500 brass each. And was it 300 each way or 300 both ways?
300. So that was for both directions. But it's not 150 out there, it's 300. Does that make sense? Like, even if you don't come back with her, she's charging you for both directions.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
It was just my brain blanked on whether the calculation was for 150 each way.
Nope.
Or 300 each way.
It was 300 total.
Lumi will probably go fishing for a star sapphire worth 500 out of the bag from whoever holds it.
I don't know.
Not me.
I was gonna say I don't know who took it.
I think you hold it.
I was gonna say I thought you had it, Lumi.
Yeah, I'll fish out a star sapphire worth 500 brass.
Okay. And since
and Zari adds, and with that extra, if you get some good foodstuffs, I can help out your cook in the kitchen.
she goes, and yeah, it'll cover me staying in port a little longer. And she tosses the guy who she called, whose name I said and have completely blanked on.
Bert.
Bert, yes, thank you.
I remember because I thought, wait, is the other one Ernie?
No. Well,
But
all right. So she tosses the thing to Bert. He gives it an eye, gives it a weight, and goes, yeah, that'll definitely cover it in a few weeks in port there too. Can maybe restock over there. So he makes it disappear into the folds of his clothing. Goes and he heads back into the ship, back into the companionway, and she goes, yeah, four
right.
days at the soonest. Otherwise, I'll be here. I'll hold at least a week. I'll let if somebody else wants to hire me, I'll let them know that I'm stuck for a week with a down payment. Actually, a full payment.
Yep.
Oh, you know what? You paid in full up front. I'll wait 2 weeks. Up to.
fair enough. Okay, now I think with that done, we know where we're going. We know how we're going to get there. I believe we have a dragon to go talk to again.
She just stares at you. You're not.
One of many dragons.
You're not. You're not. I'm not taking you to a dragon, right?
No. We the dragon that's here.
Oh, that's no, that's not better.
Why is it not better? She seems nice enough.
I mean, she's bigger than my ship, so maybe I just have a paranoid fear.
I mean that's fair, but you know. Yeah.
You go talk to your dragon. And I'm gonna stay here and drink the rest of that bottle that you're holding.
Zari hands it over.
Yeah.
And I guess we get up and
the last
go.
third of it goes into her mug, and the bottle itself goes out. She opens the back window of the galley, and she tosses the bottle out the back window, and it lands just short of the ship behind her. And she just grins at you over her cups.
I leave the other 3 bottles too.
Ah, you are a lady of worth.
Okay. And then once we're out on deck, it's like, what? Why is everybody so weirded out that we talk to dragons? It's like it's something unusual.
Why are you so eager to share that we're talking to dragons?
Because we are. Like,
Have you tried reading between the unspoken lines of they're terrified when you say we're talking to dragons? I find it fascinating that they tolerate us as well, but and he points back towards the office of the captain. That reaction should tell you that maybe hang on to that piece of information just a bit longer.
The person who's been up in the shrouds comes scrambling down and goes, "Hang on, what piece of information?"
I look at Lumi. I give him a
That we
sly
know several
smile.
dragons.
Oh yeah, don't go talking to dragons. That seems dangerous.
I mean, all of them that we've met are fine.
They seem so
Just
cuddly.
staring at y'all. You know that look that you give when you're not sure if the person that you're talking to is sane or serious? That's the look he's giving you.
Lumi goes, Exhibit B.
Look,
I mean,
Well,
I
we're
still
one
don't.
of those.
And starts threading his head out towards the top of the ship and off the ship, trying not to whack his head too many times. Actually, he's probably on his crawling on his knees just to avoid whacking his head.
I mean, I don't see what the big deal is. We've met with so many dragons, and they seem like fairly reasonable people.
the person's following at this point. Like, okay, reasonable people?
Reason, like you talk to them, and they talk back, and you all, agree on some things, and you go about your own way. Like,
So they haven't eaten
that
you
not
yet.
reasonable?
They've eaten none of you.
No,
Not like snacks or anything.
no. Do they do that?
Yes! Probably.
Huh.
It like that's what they're supposed to do. Tie princesses up and put them into high towers and then eat the knights who come to rescue them. It's like, a whole
Oh.
thing.
I'm sure that's just propaganda.
That's like takeout for dragons. It's like how they order food.
That sounds as wrong as I imagine us talking them sounds to you.
I swear I've heard that they do that.
I know, and I'm telling you, it's propaganda.
By
You,
by whom?
like you, by the dragons. I mean, they say that the elves eat people too, but I'm sure you could talk to an elf.
No. Talk to the captain. The elves absolutely eat people. Or ate people? I don't think they're eating as many people as they used to. Just talk to the captain sometime. She has horror stories. She loves them. Not the elves, the horror stories. What I'm saying is, if you're ever in the Langshank Forest, don't get the salt pork. And then, as you guys are now back on the docks, the person scrambles back up into the sails, and goes back to doing whatever they're doing, tying knots. That looks like they're tying knots up there.
Right. That's Tiasa maybe gotten a lead on a way to get there. Magda next. And
I guess some shopping over the next 3 days. Like,
yeah, maybe.
and wait for information on Horgold, I guess.
Yeah, sounds about right. Do I have a splinter in my forehead?
I don't think so. It's definitely a good bruise.
Like the green of Lumi's forehead has gone like several shades
Couple.
darker. There's a pretty good contusion there.
Yeah, you might want to wrap that up or something, or yeah.
All right.
Hold on. And he will cast Healing Word on himself.
The contusion goes away.
Ah, there, all better.
All right. It's an intelligence roll to not get lost on the way back to the Magda's place. A 10.
11.
11.
Guidance!
All right, roll your guidance, please, Lumi. 3. Well, a 13. So, Iberkeet and Zari, between the two of you, you don't get lost. But it does take you like it's mid-afternoon. Y'all are probably, unless you picked up some street meat along the way, getting to that like it's been too long since breakfast sort of stomach grumbly.
Oh yeah, we definitely picked up street meat.
Okay. Street meat.
Riisha used the 5-finger discount.
Sure. That's what we'll do for your sleight of hand roll, Riisha, if you're okay with that.
I am more than okay with that.
So
I'm
Riisha,
not gonna pay for meat I won't eat.
so about the time that Iberkeet and Zara, you guys realize you're back on the main road going east and west that actually leads in the direction of Magda's place. Riisha comes walking up behind you, and she's got like that a meat skewer between each finger, kind of like Wolverine, but meat skewers. And just holding them up. They are lamb. It's heavily spiced with cumin, chilies, black pepper, not saffron's the wrong term. That yellow turmeric. Yes. So it's lamb and those spices, and it's like it's a ground meat, but then kebabbed and on skewers, and so they're just slightly dripping. Riisha, you're dexterous enough that you can keep the drips from landing on your fingers. But yeah, there's 4 in each hand, and they're like Wolverine claws in my mind.
100% Wolverine claws.
This is probably the hottest spicy food that y'all have ever tasted. Like both chili, red chili, capsaicin spice, and also black pepper spice. And about the time you're finishing them up, you guys arrive at Magda's door, which is as unpretentious as the last time you were here.
Is there a large knocker, or are there guards to present ourselves to?
You can knock. There's no guards on the outside.
Tap, 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 tap.
You hear a sound from the other side of the door, and the door opens to like it swings open slowly, and sitting in the doorway is Serval, and they have a circlet in their mouth, in his mouth. Sorry, I talked with Rogue. Serval's male, and he sets the circlet down in front of you, Lumi, and turns around and kicks the door closed.
Lumi will pick up the circlet, look strangely at the door, and well, that was an experience.
That was easy, I guess.
Which means you technically did not tell the truth. We did not talk to the dragon.
I assumed we were going to talk to the dragon. You know, that's not a lie.
Anyway,
If you say something will happen and then that thing doesn't happen because the other party does not do the thing you intended, that's not a lie. That's just a thing that didn't happen.
right. Wonder what this does. And Lumi will look over to Ibrahim. Can we figure out what this does?
Yeah, I'll take a look at it.
1 10-minute identify cast later. It is a helm of teleportation in the form of a brass. It's a red brass circlet, mostly unornamented.
Oh, that will help us.
Does it detail like how often it can be used? Like,
So I'm going to go with it recharges on a long rest.
okay.
Has 3 charges, recharges on a long rest. Recharges 1 charge on a long rest. So. And
that can be used to teleport all of us or one of us, or
it casts the teleport spell.
You and up to 8 willing creatures of your choice that you can see within range.
Yep.
okay.
Range is 10 feet, so we have to be kind of crowded together. But if you target a teleportation circle, it's 100% chance of working.
Yep. It's a nice thing about teleportation circles.
And we know a lot of those.
You do, in fact.
Good thing we hoarded circle symbols.
Yeah. So, well, we got a couple days. Do we want to burn 2 charges? Get to Miiva and get back?
Well, Captain said it would be 8 weeks. Probably maybe a chance to let it recharge some. Probably won't be able to use it until tomorrow, though. Magical items don't tend to...
Like rapid use, yes.
I think it requires attunement. So.
Yes, that was Lumi's way of saying, I might need to attune overnight.
Okay, so tomorrow we head to Miiva using that thing. Take care of the dead body that's in my restaurant's basement. Tell everybody what's happening,
Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
He's been there
Yes,
for a
I
while.
did it. I did it, and I probably need to hire a new barkeep.
Yes.
All right. As you guys headed back to the battle bar?
Yeah.
As you guys are walking in that direction, I would like everybody to make a perception check, please.
Oof.
Wow.
I'm not sure if I want to reroll that one because that was almost as low as I can go.
Riisha was more perceptive than Lumi.
Uh-huh.
Something must have looked shiny.
Zari?
Yeah, sorry.
Natural 1. All right. So, none of you notice the street clear out until Zari walks straight on into a sword, and we're going to go ahead and end there for today. So, thank you to my players for playing. Thank you to everybody for watching. It has been great having you here. Bye.